Hey everybody, I got a lot of requests about a guide to Vermintide, so this video is going to be going over all of the basics that you need to know to be successful at this game, which can be a very complicated game that doesn't always explain itself very well. And to help me with that, I got a leading member of the community to come along with me.
My name's Loon, and this game's fast approaching my most played game of all time. So this video is going to show you how to dodge, how to block, how all this works, how it all comes together. What are your strengths in Vermintide? So, most foremost is dodging. You can dodge backwards, sideways, and back diagonally. Each weapon has a speed and a limit on which you can do this. The most important times to dodge are when you're going up against specials like Storm Vermin. The sideways attack is kind of weird. Sometimes you can sidestep it, sometimes it doesn't let you. I still haven't figured that one out. It just, see, like that, it didn't hit me.
Yeah, particularly for Storm Vermin, since they hit so hard, if you're in doubt, dodge backward.
Yeah, dodge backwards is way better than sidestepping because you get more distance out of it. But never dodge back from a Packmaster because you'll always grab your ass.
It is worth noting, while we're on the subject, that there is no such thing as a front dodge. You will just jump forward, so be careful about that.
Although you can turn around after dodging, but they kind of broke dodging. Anyway, you see efficient count. I was dodging fine, but now with a glaive, I'm not getting anything out of it. This is efficient count. Every weapon between 1 and 3, has a between 1 and 4 count. Carillion's weapons have, most of them are infinite, and Saltspire's rapier is also infinite. So when you run out of the efficient count, you can't dodge. It gets no distance, but it cools down super quick. You gotta be aware of that. When you run out of stamina regen happens as long as you're not dodging. So you see I'm dodging a lot, I'm not getting any stamina, and I'm being chain broken. Try not to let that happen.
That is incredibly dangerous anytime there's a number of rats around. Pretty much any more than these three, and that would have ended incredibly badly.
You gotta be careful with the Ogre, because pretty much everything he does knocks your stamina right out. When you're playing a striker like Carillion or Saltspire, rats always try to flank you, so your job is to do it right back because they crumble. This also keeps all the stragglers from trying to go at your buddies, who would then get surrounded, which means they have to push more. And when they start pushing, they run out of stamina.
It's a critical part of the interaction between the team. The fast striking characters need to be able to help the denser controllers do their job.
Blocking covers all angles. When in doubt, block. Always block.
Yep,
there's no reason not to block. Pushing also covers all angles. The best times to push are when you're about to get hit by 2 or more rats, or as a striker, which we'll see later, is when you're getting... when you miss a target, then it's time to push. If you see about to get hit, you need to push, because if you start getting hit, well, that's bad. And you can also block while reviving. This was a bug they grandfathered into the game because it was so incredibly useful.
Yep. And when you're talking about pushing as a whole, there is a skill that modifies it called Devastating Blow. It's an incredibly useful skill because no matter what it's on, it allows you to start pushing around the armored guys like the Storm Vermin and the Rattling Gun. Thank you.
So you can see I'm not having any, you can stumble them sometimes when they're doing idle or side swinging, but when he overhead swings, he has stun iframes. So we get Devastating Blow, and we can basically have the power of a shield whenever we push these guys around. This makes the daggers
incredibly helpful.
This makes the daggers valuable because they only cost 1 stamina push. Back to always blocking. If you're ever idle or picking up items, block! Because rats can drop down from rooftops at any time. They can come out of... They have holes everywhere. That's what he said.
Maybe you're he, dude.
Yeah. If you're playing a fast character like Carillion, blocking doesn't really slow your movement speed very much. So you block everywhere. As Saltspire with the rapier, or with one-handed weapons. When in doubt, block. There's never a reason not to block.
The worst thing that's going to happen is you get a block broken, but if you stumble into a situation like that, you are getting shredded anyway.
This is where pushing as a striker comes into play. You can watch. I actually aided Barden right there because he was about to get hit by pushing. See, as I move through, I'm conserving my stamina to keep things stun locked as I hit them.
Yep. The biggest thing to note about how pushing works, at least for the chaff rats, is that it isn't just a stumble backward the way it is for storm vermin, rattling guns, and all of the specials. They also have to just like work themselves up to attack again.
Yeah, it buys you time that they're not fighting. And in this one, there is so much to talk about when we consider the two roles of the game. Tanking and DPS and the MMO term, but here in Vermintide, I'll go with his and just say striker and controller. The guy with the shield, cool guy, is controlling.
In these, we have me as the dwarf going around striking, or going around controlling all of these rats, and generally keeping as many of them down as I can, while Loon cleans up after me and kills as many rats as humanly possible.
See, the big thing about this is, though, this going out in the open and reaching out too far was a bad idea, but I'd say we made out pretty good considering I didn't take a hit from it.
I only took 1 or 2 hits as well, and my shield has bloodlust, so it came out okay.
That gate over there that you just saw him looking at, corralling the rats would have been way better, but at the same time, if you corral too many rats, like, you just suddenly can't push every single one with a single throw, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much crap in the way. So you gotta be careful.
Corralling, this is generally how it looks. One of my other friends who plays this game, Digirat, calls this the tumble dryer because.
Do you see how they were at his side there? This is important.
Yep, that is incredibly important for the striker to help clean up after the controller, because basically what the controller is doing is keeping these rats down and off balance, so the striker can go in and kill as many as humanly possible.
The most important thing, obviously, is just knowing what's around. Because you're always... Like, there's rats anywhere, even outside of hordes.
Situational awareness is key.
This right here isn't the best holdout spot, but it was actually working pretty well, I think.
It was also very good to show off something on my screen, which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, I don't approve of how you did that. I think that was bullshit.
Dude,
you did that twice!
Did what?
You fucking killed specials without aiming. Like, you didn't even look down the sights. It's so broken. See, look at that. You had no business making that shot.
I do that shot all of the time.
You were taking damage, which made your accuracy worse, and you still did that.
Meh. Anyway, moving side to side with the. There you go. See, I waited for my aim to.
Yeah, but you didn't look down the sights. Either way, anyway, you ping specials all the time.
Side to side like this is the other general way a controller handles a large number of rats, because it keeps them all straight.
I'm only leaving this in because these were epic saves. I feel like I was playing with Robo-Kai right here, because there's no way you had any business surviving this, or especially really this one.
This
right
one,
here,
at the very least, you have on file that that latency made that storm.
Oh yeah, that people getting hit by
like
blocks
3 times.
Yeah, people get hit through blocks all the time when there's latency issues. Even recently there's been some server issues. People get disconnected at the end of the game. It just crap that happens. So sharing items and ping every special. You can only ping one thing personally. However, it keeps people aware.
It does, and it also enables a little bit of nonverbal communication between teammates, because not everybody is going to be on voice. If somebody pings a dangerous special, you can ping that special as well to simply say, "I'm aware of that threat."
When you have any consumable item, you can hand it over to your buddy if they don't have anything in that slot.
Which can be very helpful because
when you're about to pick up the books of the level, essentially.
Right. If somebody doesn't necessarily notice that something is there, you can just go give it to them, and you don't have to worry about chasing them down.
I'm always happy to give a gutter runner a bloody nose for that.
Yeah.
So this is very important.
Probably my least favorite special.
And I did not get too much footage for this one because I mean it all comes together in its own way. So rats come from every angle in an ambush or a swarm. So it's very important that at all times you are watching every angle and watching somebody's back. The controller does not have time to babysit you and turn around when he's got like 20 rats in front of him If the Skaven can't flank, if you flank them instead, then they'll just die with head-on collision with anybody else. But you can see how there's just all these stragglers coming from behind. They'll probably still even keep coming after the swarm is over.
There are times where the game outright spawns a couple of clan rats almost on a spawn point, almost directly behind you, specifically to try to get some opportunistic hits in. Avoiding damage is the only stat or low damage taken is the only stat that matters in this game. So you have to keep your head on the swivel, especially as a striker.
I think we covered everything pretty well.
I feel that was a really good once over at it too. You can keep on this playlist for some more in-depth things from the weapons to trinkets to special introductions, and we're even going to be doing something on the Rat Ogre. So yeah, hope to see you in game, everybody.